Smart to drive. Brogdon thought about it. Tatum with the shot clock winding down. Tatum falling away to his left. Misses the three. Smart gets it away in time. And Tatum taps home the offensive rebound. The Celtics have lived all night by the offensive board, and the Pacers may just have died by that one.
All right, the 20th offensive rebound of the night for the Celtics gives them the 142-138 win in overtime over the Indiana Pacers. What's going on, Celtics postgame live? Tom Giles, Eddie House, and Eddie, I mean, this was a Pacers team that would not go away. Once again, the Celtics go to overtime for the 9th time this season. They're now 4-5 in OT, but they're able to get it done down the stretch and get out of there with a win.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. Get out of there with a win. And I think it was an ugly win because I think kind of that third quarter felt like we kind of took our foot off the gas and allowed them to get open shots and get back into the game and make it a game. But resilient, good defense on the back end, and then also just crashing the glass and being bigger than them. I think that has been the Indiana Pacers' Achilles heel all year, is giving up offensive rebounds, and the Celtics took advantage tonight and got the W.
All right, and we're doing a new thing here tonight as well, okay, because the Celtics get the W, and, of course, Scal's going to have the Tommy Award coming up later in the show, but we want to tell you about this because you can now go ahead and vote on the Tommy Award yourself, who you think should win it. Just scan the QR code right there at the bottom of the screen. Take out your camera, just scan that thing, and go ahead and log on and cast your vote. You see, we got 6 names up there with Derek White, Sam Hauser. For me, Eddie House, I thought he had a tremendous stretch there in the fourth quarter. It looked like the Celtics were kind of separating themselves. Of course, Malcolm Brogdon, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams. If you had to vote, early vote, where are you going?
I'm going Brogdon, playing his old team, very efficient, 9 of 12 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3, 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. Hit some big-time shots, came up with some big-time plays. I'm going with Malcolm Brogdon.
All right, and for sure, Scal's going to have his coming up later in the show. We're also going to have final results for you on this poll coming up later in the show as well, but go ahead and log on and cast your vote for that. Meanwhile, let's get through how things kind of transpired in that overtime because going into it, the Celtics were kind of back and forth. And in OT, it's Marcus Smart giving the C's a 3-point lead with that jumper right there. It was 133-130. And then Malcolm Brogdon, as you mentioned, Eddie, stepping up big in this one against his former team. Tough layup to go from Malcolm Brogdon. That gave the Celtics once again a 3-point lead. And Indiana just would not go away. With the game tied, it's Brogdon and Jaylen Brown. That put Boston back up by 2 at 138-136. And then it's Jason Tatum with the game tied at 138, taking on Tyrese Halliburton and drawing the foul. He made both free throws there to make it 140-138. And this is the final possession. Tatum misses the 3, but then comes up with a huge offensive rebound to give the Celtics the 4-point lead, Eddie, and ultimately the 142-138 win.
Yeah, just outworking. They just outworked them right there. Like, they got shots that they liked, but they didn't just take the shot, admire the shot, understanding that you missed a shot, guy get a rebound, got to crash because the game's on the line. Jason Tatum being the MVP that he is, coming up with a big-time play at the right moment. And I think really, though, that Marcus Smart, let's talk about how good he was in overtime, how good he played in the second half, defending Halliburton, just having opportunities to get to the basket because he was kind of non-existent in that first half, and he turned it on in the second half, and especially in overtime.
Yeah, and Marcus Smart finishes with 15 points. Jason Tatum leads away with 31. And Jaylen Brown making his return as well. He played in the All-Star game, but his first regular season game in a couple of weeks. He had 30 points, 11 rebounds. He's standing by now with Abby Chin.
Jaylen, what a game. In the end, it came down to the offensive boards as it did all night. Is that just a matter of effort?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to find ways to win. First game back, and it was a good one to come back to off the break. So I thought we played well. We let them come and get going, but we weathered the storm and got a win today.
Joe drew up the first play for you. Playing with that mask, how did it feel?
It's going to take some getting used to, a little bit of breathing, a little bit of, being able to see the floor. I missed a lot of layups today. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but let's just keep having fun and keep winning games.
How nice was it to have everybody available? What difference did that make?
being healthy is the key. So being on the floor with all our guys as we get ready for the playoffs is going to be important. So we just got to keep it up and stay healthy as much as possible and have fun.
And finally, we just saw the jersey exchange with Aaron Nesmith. What is it like to see one of your young rookies thrive?
That was my little bro, man. That was my workout partner. We used to work out together. So, I would like to see him do well here and continue to do well. He's been playing great, playing hard, and that's my guy.
Jaylen, congratulations. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate you.
All right, so we get Jaylen Brown with 30 points in his return. We got Scal with us now. And Scal, it took overtime, took an extra 5 minutes. Celtics, though, do get the win. Indiana, though, just 22 threes. They shot the ball extremely well. Miles Turner was lights out. What did you think of the effort tonight and the fact that the Celtics were able to get their 43rd win of the season?
Today was a find a way to win type of game. The Celtics didn't shoot well, but they hit the offensive glass. Defensively, they lost guys at times, but they got stops when they needed to. I thought Eddie nailed it when he said Marcus Smart in overtime. He was fantastic, and that's a guy that guarded Tyrese Halliburton all game. So today was a big, and you never know how these games are going to go after All-Star break, but today was a big just find a different way to win. And shout out to Jason Tatum, who missed a shot. Airballed the three, but he could have pouted. No way. Marcus Smart gets the rebound. He goes in, and Jason Tatum ultimately gets the tap in. So I'm happy that they got the win, but really a hard-fought game by Indiana. And today was a good environment. It reminded us that the NBA does have competitive guys, and we shouldn't overreact to the All-Star game.
I'm thinking about Jason Tatum, right? At halftime, you know what he had at halftime? 6 points, 7 rebounds, right? He ends the game with 31 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Finding ways to affect the game, right? Not just being a guy that is just relied on the score and that's it. But when you get scoring, we know what he can do. He can put numbers up in volumes, but doing the other things, getting those 12 rebounds and the 7 assists, trusting your other players and getting down there defensively and then getting that offensive rebound, to me, those are winning plays. And it takes that. Sometimes it doesn't matter how it comes out. Some wins are going to be pretty, some wins are going to be ugly, but they all equal one thing, and that's a W. That's a win. And they found a way to get it done tonight.
They did find a way. And you guys both touched on Jason Tatum there and in the second half, as you pointed out, Eddie, with the 25 points. But, Scott, we're showing the play again, the video of the Tatum putback here. And it's great players find ways to win games. It's kind of what you're seeing, right?
Yeah, that's what Tatum does. And it's not just the offensive rebound for the bucket. How about when he was on the floor wrestling with Mathurin for the ball? That stuff means stuff. And coming up with a big defensive play. He had a block earlier on Turner. Tatum makes winning plays. He has since the day he walked on to the Boston Garden floor, and he will continue. And he doesn't get discouraged with missing shots. He has so much confidence in his game. And he's, like I said, a lot of guys could pout that they missed it. Oh, man, I airballed a 3 for the game winner. Nah, man, just moves on to the next play. So today it's a good example. We all know the Celtics are elite, and Indiana is a team that's trying to figure this thing out. But individual players, Brogdon making big shots, Derek White in the first half, that's what makes championship-level teams.
And think about it, with his having his wrist. Remember, he fell on his wrist, and you talked about it on the broadcast about he took all of the pressure on his wrist, but he was the first one down on the ground to get that loose ball. But, Scal, I got a serious question. I want to know who was wrestling harder for the ball. Was it Jason Tatum or was Joe Mazzulla wrestling harder for the ball on the sideline? Who was wrestling harder for the rock?
So it was funny. Tatum was down there wrestling for real, right? And we ain't really seen that from Tatum. But when that ball went over to Mazzulla, I thought he was messing around. But he shot a look when I went and played pickup with him, which I don't suggest any normal human being doing, because Joe's a straight savage when it comes to pickup. He was back in the pickup game. He really wanted to wrestle Nesmith for the ball. That wasn't fake. That was real. No, man, maybe now we'll see Joe. Maybe he'll get out there and get dirty a little bit now that he got that interim tag taken off.
Yeah, he gets the interim tag taken off, and now he's 1-0 as the official head coach of the Boston Celtics. And that intensity is, he's got that. All right, meanwhile, let's get to some of the picks here of the DraftKings Sportsbook. And tell you that the Celtics did not cover the 8 points they were favored by before the game. They only won this game by 4, so the Pacers get the cover. And the total just soared past things, obviously, with overtime. It soared past things, though, in regulation. But, Scal, as we look into it, and the same game parlay here, looking for Robert Williams to have a double-double. Didn't see that from him tonight. What did you think of Robert Williams as we go through his game?
I liked his aggressiveness. There's no question about it. I mean, it was really, I should have thought about this. Miles Turner in stretch 5, it really put Coach Mazzulla in a weird position where he couldn't play Rob as many minutes as I thought. So I got to start avoiding Rob Williams on the double-double. As far as Neesmith, yeah, this wasn't a game for him. I thought that he would be aggressive. I thought he would get out in transition. It was always like Buddy Hield getting a 3 or anything like that. And then Marcus Smart assists. I'm telling you, the scorekeepers here, they're stingy. They're stingy with the assist. I'm telling you, they're stingy with them. So I thought Marcus was going to get it, but I just think they were not passing out assists easily today. So 0 for 3 for Scal. But you know what?
That's okay.
I'm coming after All-Star break. I got to get my rhythm back just like anybody. I was a little rusty today.
You know what? Saturday night, we're going to do it all over again. You got the Sixers, and we'll be back at it with our same game parlay here from DraftKings Sportsbook.